What's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV, and welcome to the detailed speed test between the iPhone 10 and the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. So in the usual Super Saf style, we'll be covering everything from Geekbench scores, the camera launch, some regular social apps, and then moving on to some games and finishing off with RAM management. Now both devices have been updated to the latest software version available at the time of this video, and we are using the maximum resolution on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, which is overall higher compared to the iPhone 10, so it will be interesting to see if this has any effect on the performance. If you want to pick up a skin for your iPhone 10 or your Samsung Galaxy Note 8, then definitely check out our sponsor for this video, Brand Skins. It's a great and inexpensive way to customize the look of your smartphone, and I'll be leaving a link to them in the description below. Kicking off with Geekbench scores, the iPhone 10, like the iPhone 8 Plus, scores very much higher compared to the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, and that is thanks to the Apple A11 Bionic chip. Now we'll see how much this affects real-world performance. Now moving on to the camera launch, we've got slightly different methods to quickly launch the camera on both devices. I'm putting them side by side. That was pretty much neck and neck, and slowing this down, we can once again see that it was almost the same, so I'm going to call this one a draw. Now we're going to move on to the apps. You can see that we've got nothing open in the background. We're going to start off with Twitter. That was quicker on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. We're going to refresh home. Neck and neck there. Now going on to notifications, the content is displayed slightly differently, so we can't really take that one into consideration. Moving on to Instagram. That was quicker on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Going on to my profile, that was quicker on the iPhone 10, opening up an image. Pretty much neck and neck, we did have a bit of an animation on the iPhone. Moving on to Pages Manager, that was quicker on the Note. Now we're using the Pages Manager because the Facebook app in general has slightly different content. YouTube finished quicker on the Note. Playing the video, also ever so slightly quicker on the Note. Now let's move on to the games. We are starting off with Angry Birds 2, and you can notice this timer at the bottom, and that's going to tell us exactly how long each of these take to load up these games. And Angry Birds 2 did finish first on the iPhone 10, ever so slightly quicker compared to the Note 8. We'll leave both these games open, still getting used to the iPhone way of going back home. Mario Run is next. That was slightly quicker on the Note 8 at the beginning. That was quicker on the iPhone 10. Moving on to our next game, which is Sonic Dash 2, Sonic Boom. And that was slightly quicker on the iPhone 10. We'll play the game. Once again, slightly quicker on the iPhone 10. Moving on to Temple Run 2. Quicker on the iPhone 10 once again, coming in slightly later on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. We're going to play the game, and we'll leave them both open, and let's move on to Subway Surfers. Very quick on the iPhone 10, and comes in a few seconds later on the Note, playing the game once again, and moving on to Dead Trigger 2. Super quick for the intro screen on the iPhone 10, and then we've got the Note 8 coming in a little bit later. We'll play the game on both. And the logo does appear on the iPhone 10 at first. The Note 8 coming in around 4 seconds later. Moving on, Asphalt 8. iPhone 10 yet again. Now the intro screens are the same, but then we get these different pop-ups, but we only took the initial test into consideration anyway. And moving on to our final game, which is Real Steel Robot Wars. Now I know there's lots of games that we're loading up, maybe a little bit unrealistic, but this is mainly to test out the RAM management of both devices. Finished quicker once again on the iPhone 10, a few seconds later on the Note, and finally just playing the game too. iPhone 10 again, and 3 seconds later on the Note 8. So a bit of a trend here, most of the games did open up on the iPhone 10 quicker. Now we're going to test out RAM management, so we're going to reopen all of the games and apps that we did previously. Asphalt 8 is still in the same place. Dead Trigger 2 still in the same place on both devices. Subway Surfers, same place on both. Temple Run 2, aha! It's in the same place on the Note, but it does have to reload on the iPhone 10. This is actually a little bit worse off than what we had on the iPhone 8 Plus. The iPhone 8 Plus did seem to leave a few more games open. Let's try Sonic Dash 2. Once again, it does have to reopen on the iPhone 10. We can resume on the Note where we left it. Now we'll reload Sonic Dash and let's move on to the next game, which is Mario Run. once again, does have to reload on the iPhone 10. So RAM management doesn't look like it has sorted itself out on iOS 11 as yet. Angry Birds 2, same place on the Note 8, but it does have to completely reload on the iPhone 10. Now, that was all of the games. We're going to be moving on to the apps. So YouTube, in the same place on the Note 8, and it does have to completely reload on the iPhone 10. Facebook Pages Manager, same place once again on the Note, has to completely reload on the iPhone 10. Instagram, yep, same image that we left it open on the Note, but it does have to reload completely on the iPhone. And Twitter loads up on the Note, and although we are still in notifications on the iPhone, it did have to reload. So there we have it, guys, the detailed speed test between the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 and the iPhone 10. Some interesting results here. For the standard social apps, the Note 8 did seem to be quicker overall. When it came to games, the clear winner was the iPhone, opening up pretty much all of the games quicker compared to the Note 8. But when it came to RAM management, then the winner was the Note 8, leaving all of the games and apps open in the same place where we left them, whereas the iPhone only managed to keep 4 games open. Now, this is something that we also noticed with the iPhone 8 Plus. And on iOS 10, this really didn't seem to be a problem, but it looks like something that has been introduced on iOS 11. And iOS 11 has been out for well over a month now, so I would have expected for these things to be sorted out. But anyway, those are the results. What do you think of them? Definitely drop me a comment below and let me know. Also, let me know which speed tests or camera comparison you'd like me to do next. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And if you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe and switch on notifications. There's lots more Super Saf style videos coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on Super Saf TV. I'll see you next time.